And for those of you who are looking for encouragement na ang lahat ng bagay kasama na ang mga pagsubok ay hindi permanente sa buhay natin. This too shall pass is dedicated to you. So here now is Mr. Rico Blanco playing here on Hit Music Central.
OPM's Most Wanted is here on your Hit Music Central.
If you are just tuning in, you are listening to Hit Music Central. I am your Kabayan Ria, and tamang-tama ang timing mo, Kabayan, because now we are going to be talking to Mr. Rico Blanco on Hit Music Central. Good evening, Rico. Bati ka muna sa mga listeners natin dito sa Hong Kong, sa Macau, and some parts of the mainland China. At syempre, yung mga listeners natin online on the internet ngayong gabi.
Good evening, everyone. Rico here. Rico Blanco. How are you?
Thank you so much for joining us on our program here on Kabayan Radio. Rico, maraming salamat. Una sa lahat, kumusta naman ang nakaraang taon? Kumusta ang pandemic sa'yo? How has it impacted your life? Kumusta ka naman? How are you coping?
Oh, wow. I think for everyone, this is one of the most memorable years in our lives, no? This one, the one that just passed and the one that we're going through right now. So it's very eventful for me, even if I was just home. It was so eventful. Kahit nasa bahay ka lang, dami kong adventure na nangyari the past year. Right now, we're still, in the middle of our adventure.
And I want to say thank you so much for not stopping in making music and for making the year more bearable with your music. This Too Shall Pass was quite powerful when it came out, especially that yung music video niya nagpakita ng powerful earlier days of the pandemic. And tell us your process. How did it came about, and yung mga reactions na natanggap mo from the people who heard it and saw the video as well?
The song was siguro the product of several months na naka-lockdown ako, and I was unable to do any kind of music or even send out messages of support sa mga people who were working or struggling with the situation, because I had my own a domestic situation at home na kasi ang karamihan actually lahat ng staff ko uwian. So uwian sila. So suddenly nung pandemic, biglang mag-isa na lang ako, and I had to figure out how to do everything with the additional challenge of where do you order stuff? Where do you buy things? So after several months and then finally figured it out, I had parang extra time na to express myself and send out a message, and I think that's how the song came about. It's a message for everyone. It's also a message for myself that time, honestly. Diba, parang and I think it's sad to say na a year later relevant pa rin pala yung kanta. I was kind of celebrating na hindi na siya masyadong relevant eh. Sabi ko, hindi na siya masyadong relevant. I think we're gonna get out of this already. And then we take a few steps backward and parang sadly, I have songs na nagiging relevant pagka mahirap yung panahon.
And that is very important kasi for people na kailangan ng coping mechanism, music makes it like I said earlier, it makes it bearable, and soundtrack talaga ng life natin yung mga ginagawa mo musika, just like Liwanag sa Dilim is still something that we can draw inspiration from.
And I think you're right, a huge part. Kasi may time nung ginagawa ko yung This Too Shall Pass, I felt like nahirapan ako eh, kasi I had to do everything by myself. Recording, engineering, mixing, mastering. Dati meron akong mga tumutulong sa akin. And then I had to do my house chores. So at some point, naisip ko, wag ko na kaya tapusin to. Kasi talagang ang hirap niya tapusin. And then, yun part of it is parang a sense of responsibility na kung hindi ko gagawin, parang sinong gagawa. I'm not saying walang ibang taong kayang gumawa, but may studio ko sa bahay eh. Kaya ko gumawa ng kanta eh. Kaya kong mag-record eh. So, parang nagigilty ako kung hindi ko gagawin. Parang may ganong feeling. So that's how I guess that thought helped me finish the song. And I'm proud of the song. I'm proud of it.
Yes.
And I'm happy that I finished it. Yun, kasi,
And we're glad that you finished it.
oh, thank you. I'm happy that, yun nga, when you asked earlier about the reactions, I'm glad that it was able to help some people. And around that time, parang it gave some encouragement to those who had to leave their homes and work. From frontliners in the healthcare system, in the hospitals, and to the delivery people, or people who have to do the basic services to keep this country running, or the world running. So yun, maliit lang naman yung kayang gawin ng mga musicians. That's yun ang namin.
You're saying na maliit ang contribution or nagagawa ng musicians, and yet when it comes to building memories and evoking those emotions, we always go back to the music that you guys create, and we're so appreciative of that. And lalo na kami mga OFWs, we are away from the country. Music brings us home closer. And we're so grateful for people like you, and you're among the prolific songwriters in the Philippines. And masasabi natin na every decade parang kasama ka namin because of the music that you create.
Yeah.
And talk about the song naman na Happy Feelin'. It's so groovy, and the music video is animated. Ano naman ang inspiration behind it?
Yung Happy Feelin' kasi, actually, I wrote the song just before the pandemic hit. And so obviously, nung tumama yung pandemic, parang hindi bagay. Obviously, di ba? And then, so, nakalimutan na lang yon. But I think after half a year, parang naghahanap na tayo ng little things to cope. Di ba? Little things around us, or things or people. And then parang nagre-reflect na rin ako na actually, the last year taught us to count our blessings, di ba? The value of counting our blessings. So nakita ko sa ganong level yung Happy Feelin' na song na nasulat ko, na hindi na siya love song lang or for one person. It could be, anything. It could be your pets. It could be anything that gives you a happy feeling. It could be music, sport, diba? Your favorite drama on TV, or so doon doon ko na realize na kailangan ng tao ng song na masaya.
Yes.
I mean, hindi naman ginawa dahil kailangan ng tao, but parang meron ding may kailangan ng ganong song, diba? And so
just a change step naman.
Oo. And I guess for myself din, di ba, na parang gawa naman tayo ng masayang, mag-isa ka lang dito sa bahay. That for so many months, I hadn't seen my family. So I'm glad that I also, was able to finish that song. There are 2 videos out there. Actually, the lyric video is a very cute animation in this fantasy world, and the other video naman was shot with the twofold media guys, using an iPhone, and then yung mga inikot lang yung phone sa mga iba't ibang tahanan, and they were able to shoot, the things that made them happy sa kanilang mga homes.
Do you remember every song that you've ever written since you were a kid, since you were younger?
Sometimes no, I don't remember every song.
So you've been in a band before, you've done collaborations with other musicians, and you've also done your own solo work. Among all of them, ano ang mas prefer mo? To work on your own or to be working with other musicians?
It's like asking me what I want to have for breakfast, diba? I mean, I love bacon, but kung araw-araw bacon, medyo hanap ka rin ng, di ba?
Ng corned beef.
Oo, yeah. Kaya, iba naman, di ba? Daing.
Yeah. So I guess that's why you've also done so many creative things, artistic expression. You've done theater, you've done TV, movies, you've done your music. Is there anything else that you're dabbling into na hindi pa namin alam and you're planning to come out with one day? Any artistic expression?
I don't know if hindi nyo pa alam, because I'm very, let's say, I'm quite transparent, for someone coming from the rock scene or the alternative scene, where we're usually, usually artists from my genre of music where I started, they're a bit more, they like to be a little bit more mysterious, diba? But I've been really open throughout my career, and even up to now with my vlogs on YouTube, and I share the stuff I do, from painting, and I'm over there on TikTok also dancing. And so I think one would be down the road, it's something I've been working on the past few years. It's building an experience, a place where you can just, so your creativity, you don't just hear it or see it. Kasi so far, audio-visual pa lang, you either hear my creations or you see them. The next one is something that you can experience. I'm talking about the projects that I'm working on in La Union, and maybe eventually further down the road, maybe Palawan.
Wow.
So I think yun yung artistic expression na excited din ako about. There's one going on now, and it's music din siya, diba? Because I'm collaborating with all of my artists on my label, Balcony Entertainment. But that, parang feeling ko there's also a non-music side to it. That's also an art. But I can't quite, I don't have a word
everything.
for it. No, I don't have a word for it now. I haven't really thought about it. The way I'm helping them navigate their individual careers. I think that's an art form, I guess. Then you're writing a story with them, with all these amazing artists. So that's something that I feel is like an art form, I guess.
So with social media now, you're exposed not only to the people who are watching you as your audience, but also yung mga fans mo. You're now more exposed to people from other countries, and yung feedback mabilis. How do you feel about that? Yung ganung klaseng interaction with your fans, your followers, ganun kabilis ang reaction, and maybe sometimes even criticisms and mga comments. How do you handle this?
I actually can't differentiate so much what's happened in the past few years with social media and the early days. Kasi I think our trajectory was too quick from being unknowns, diba? And then then River Maya, and all of a sudden, we're on all the back then magazines, diba? They would review our stuff, and there's people who write to magazines with their opinions on the bands and whatnot. And so parang to me, criticism has always been there. I always think in percentages, in ratios. I don't, and that's just how my mind works. Whether it's I'm analyzing financials or relationships, just my brain is parang has algebra embedded in it. So every time I see hate, it's in my brain like, so there's one message, but I saw 100 compliments before I saw this one negative comment. So it doesn't really, I see it as 1%. So and I'm thankful. So parang ganun nga minsan eh. Like, you just try to, I don't count, no? But parang, tagal ko na ayun, may negative, di ba? It doesn't feel real if there's no negative comment, actually. Parang, what's wrong? Meron bang, makakakabahan ako eh. If parang walang negative comment, may nasira ba dito sa app or, I think it's part of life. There'll also be contrarians eh.
Yeah.
And I know this, and so if I'm doing really well, or even with the band, we were very careful about proclaiming we're all that. Because once you do, it will be time for the contrarians to come out and say, I don't really like them. Para cool sila, di ba? So, I've just learned to take it.
To process it.
I just process it so fast eh.
Yeah. That's one of... go ahead.
What's nice now is because I mentor fellow artists and I share this perspective. It helps them. It encourages them. It makes them bolder and more confident with their work, with their art. And I think that's important sa artists.
Yeah. So as a mentor, as a one of Philippine music icon, what do you tell the new breed of musicians ngayon sa Pilipinas? And how do you see OPM, the future of OPM, with all of the artists that you're working with?
In terms of, segue ko na lang to what we were discussing just before this. I think actually the new generation is so used to negative comments coming up. It doesn't really throw them off. I find that it's the artists from the previous generations that are shocked when they get the negative comment. They don't understand, or a thumbs down. Parang, you have a thumbs down. Yeah, but you have 800 thumbs up before you get your first thumbs down. What do you want? So I just tell my artists to, at the end of the day, you can have great marketing or bad marketing or whatnot. At the end of the day, it's really all about the music. It's all about the song. Some of my songs, I tell them some songs that weren't marketed well when it came out and they didn't really, make it to the top of the charts. Like, Awit ng Kabataan. Never a number one song. Radio didn't want to play it then kasi maingay daw masyado. So, but 10 years, 20 years later, diba? So, yun ang sinasabi ko. It's all about the song, and then ilabas mo na lang dyan sa universe yung kanta. And then bahala na yung universe. Kung ano mangyari. But kung tinatago mo dyan sa notebook mo, you'll never know.
And I guess it's part of a musician's story na hindi niya talaga alam yung impact na nagagawa sa buhay ng isang individual na because of your music. You'll never know that one day may nakikinig ng music nyo and they would be inspired to do something else instead of something that could have been destructive, right? So that's why kahit na siguro hindi nyo nararamdaman directly in your life, but you're spreading good seed in the world, and we hope that in one way or another it goes back to you in a positive way.
Part talaga sa artist I'm not gonna lie, even I experience doubt sometimes when I'm doing something, but I just try to remember, part of me has to be a fan of my work. and the other half has to be, that critic doubter.
Yes.
Pero dapat may fan na. You just have to give it benefit of the doubt. And like you said, it might touch another person. At saka, or, sa iba, sometimes ako rin, parang as long as I enjoy the process, what I'm doing, and I'm enjoying creating, I'm enjoying my time in the studio. Sometimes nga, I enjoy it too much. I have to pull the plug. So I think yun pa lang eh. It's, imagine, di ba, that you're able to create and leave something in this world permanently, di ba?
Yeah. So, ano naman ang message mo sa mga listeners natin, OFWs who are missing home and are still listening to Filipino music?
You know what, I feel you right now. All of us are kind of... I'm not in the Philippines, actually. I'm just in my home this past year, di ba? Except for the few times na nakalabas ako kasi I had to oversee some shoots ng artist ko sa balcony. I just wanted to make sure na safe and people are keeping their distance, following protocols. But I don't... So I totally, I want to send you message of, encouragement and support. And it's good that we have technology now to listen to music whenever we want and have a companion over the radio, keeping us someone to keep us company, especially songs from home. Count your blessings na lang tayo talaga.
Yeah. And with that, we want to say thank you once again, and I hope that you will never stop making music.
Thank you po. Please also, I hope you can also support my artist in Balcony Entertainment. You'll hear some of my music nila, but they are also very unique. These are also very unique individuals. So collaborating with them is something I think you guys will also enjoy.
We would love to hear from them as well. So tell us their names and just mention it.
Yeah. So I have several artists on Balcony Entertainment. I've had Never the Strangers and The Good Times from even before the pandemic started. And during the pandemic, I was able to sign and produce works, from the likes of Ebe Dancel, Maurice Racal, Zild. Zild, you know him from
Yes.
And then a duo called Suzara. It's composed of cousins. One is Top Suzara from Freestyle.
Right.
The other is Bolichi Suzara from For Circle and Velcro. And I also have this new promising talents. One has already released a couple of singles. Si Raven. I just discovered him. And also, yung susunod, di ko muna sasabihin ko sino. Surprise na lang. But these two artists are, I discovered them over the internet. Yung isa sa Twitter, yung isa sa TikTok. And dun din talaga nag-start yung Balcony Entertainment, yung label ko, when I discovered Never the Strangers about 10 years ago sa MySpace. So, yun, siguro sagot yun dun sa question mo kanina, how this new technology is changing the way we do things. If it weren't for this technology, hindi ko alam kung paano ko mahanap tong mga artists na to.
Rico Blanco on Hit Music Central. Thank you so much. At syempre sa Sony Music Philippines, maraming salamat sa uulitin. Alright mga kabayan, as promised, we are debuting the music from Mr. Rico Blanco. This is Happy Feelin', and I hope you will feel upbeat and cheerful after listening to this music as we head to our 10 o'clock news. with your Kabayan stand. After that, magbabalik tayo with our top 10 at 10 countdown here on Hit Music Central. So stay tuned and enjoy this music from Rico Blanco. Happy Feeling on Hit Music Central.